Hello everyone, welcome to Powerline. I'm your host Sky Knight, and today I've got another deck profile for you today. It's the Touken Ranbu clan, none other than the Sword Boys. I can't stop saying that. Oh my goodness. I can see the handsome gentleman himself right there. So today's build is actually going to be the Toushirou build, led by Ichigo Hitofuri himself. I know I've showcased this on the stream a little while back. I'm not sure if this is my favorite of the build, because it's quite concentrated on having certain rear guards, and they're not exactly the strongest. So you're pretty much have to make up for in other places. Also, the Toushirous are all 1s and 0s. So it's not really a fully fleshed out build. It's not a fully fleshed out subclan. But regardless, let's try it out. So, starting with the starter, I've got Akita Toushirou, this little boy right here. He's pretty cool. For counterblast 1, I can rest him, and if I have a Ichigo Hitofuri Vanguard, then I can look at the top 5 cards for a card with Toushirou in its name, and superior color to the rear guard. So for my deck, this guy is never placed behind the Vanguard because I have one card that has to boost Ichigo. And since he is my main Vanguard, that spot needs to be open. So Akita usually is put on the left or right. And he's pretty good. It's actually the best starter for this build. It's just really good. For counterblast 1 to go and search the top 5, it seems pretty good. Onward to the grade Thrizzles. As you can see, I'm running 4 Ichigo Hitofuris. Before the new booster set that came out in February or March, whenever it was, this build was available, but we were already in a stride format, so he was kind of useless. He actually was kind of useless. He would have been better as a Heartbreak, to be honest. That way, all the strides, the Toushirous would get effects for him. So, he's pretty cool. He has a Shiken Hisatsu ability, so Limit Break 3. For a counterblast 1, subblast 1, when this unit attacks, I pay the cost. He gets plus 4,000 for each of my rear guards with Toushirou in his name. And, it's pretty strong. The more you have, the better. Again, all the boosters are Toushirous, so you should have at least one. Unless you're playing against a retiring deck, then you have 0. So he's really, really good. But he's primarily there just for the name, to be honest. And my alternate grade 3s are Iwatushi Toku. This dude is awesome. He's at Generation Break 1, which sucks. But he's really strong. When he attacks, you pay the cost, which is a counterblast 1, and he gets the continuous ability. Excuse me, it's an active ability, so you have to do it during the main phase. Counterblast 1, he gets a continuous ability of when he attacks a column until the end of turn, which is great. So now you're attacking the back row. So you remember the older version of him, he attacked the row because he was a stride. This time he's attacking columns, which means if he's on point, he can get whatever's behind the Vanguard, which is amazing. This card is absolutely broken, and he's a double rare, which is dumb. But he's really, really strong and powerful. Well, heading down to my 2s. 4 10K vanillas, and this is the promo for last year, or the first set. I had no idea really how to build this deck, and I decided, why not save myself from being bullied at grade 2, especially if I go first. So 10K vanilla seems to be good, and I decided to use the promo instead of the regular guy because I was being different. This guy at 3, Dodanuki Masakumi. He's a Shiken Hisatsu, so again, Lemon Break 3, 12k attacker. And then Shishoho. Toushirou? Yeah. At 4, he's my 7K grade 2. Hurts when I ride him. However, he has a Lemon Break 3 ability. Again, Touken Ranbu ability. Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1. I choose a card from my hand to discard it. When it attacks the Vanguard, I pay that cost. And if I do, I draw 2 cards, and he pretty much has resist. So this dude is awesome. If I ever need to acquire more cards, he's great. If I'm going into a certain strat and I can dump a grade 3 in order to get it back. Like this, I've got a lot of good plays with this guy. Next, this is where the Toushirous really count. So I'm just gonna start off. Let's start off with the Toushirous. Yeah. So I'm running 2, or excuse me, I have 2 grade 3s and I'm running 7 copies between the 3 of them. Bam. And bam. Well, let's keep Ichigo out there so you guys know who we're looking for. So I've got Hanbame Toushirou Toku. He's at 4. Generation Break 1. When he's placed on the Guardian Circle from your hand, I can Soul Blast 1, and if I do, I counter charge. And then if he's sitting on rear guard, at the end of my turn, I can counter blast 1 and return it to my hand. So he's just a way for me to unflip. There was the older version of him, which is also another 6K that had some synergy with this guy. I didn't put it in because I like the versatility with this guy. And then second, I got the Namazuo Toushirou. This is the original guy. When he boosts a unit with Ichigo Hitofuri in his card name, the boosted unit gets plus 3k to in a battle, and for continuous, during my turn, if you have a rear guard with Hanbame Toushirou in its name, it gets 2k. So it becomes it gets an extra 5k and makes an 11k booster behind Ichigo Hitofuri and having Hanbame on board. So that's just the power version for this. So again, 11, 11, 22, or 11, 26 is 37. You know, it's just good numbers. 11, 20, yeah. I'm mad. Yes, guys, I stopped to think to make sure I wasn't being called out. My next one's 4 perfect guards, the unflippers, because this deck eats counter blast like crazy. And 3 stride enablers because sometimes you need to get there. Trigger lineup. I feel all my Touken Ranbu decks are going to be the generic lineup, which is 4-4-8. And the reason why it's 4-4-8 is this is literally the best draw trigger in the whole game. And you can quote me on this one on Thursday, July 6, 108, when I have recorded this video. I believe this is to be the perfect draw trigger. Act, throw it into the soul, counter charge 1. There are many draw triggers out there. Most of them are the Margot clones, which is throw it in the soul and get 3k. You've got the one from Kagura, which kills a grade 0, which is perfect. It's perfect, but it's only reliable if the person has a grade 0 on board, so go get them Night Runners, I guess. 7C's grade 1 rush. But this guy, utility is across the board. Get him on your turn, you know that you're going to put him into soul and counter charge. Especially if this deck has so many counter blast issues. This guy is perfect. I absolutely believe this guy is the best draw trigger in the entire game. Oh, and my critical trigger. It's pretty simple. When my Vanguard attacks, if this unit is at stand, I pay the cost, which is throw it into the soul. If I do, I draw a card and choose 2 units in the front row. And they both get 3k. Solid. Solid, solid, solid. Next on my G-Zone. G-Guardians. So I'm running another Kotetsu Samonji Toku. It has the ability of when it's placed on the Guardian Circle, Soul Blast 1 if I do. This unit gets plus 10k into the end of battle. Pretty legit. Then the GR of the set, Juzumaru Sunusugu. When it's placed on the Guardian Circle, pay the cost, which is a counterblast 1 and a soul blast 1. If I do, choose one of my opponent's attacking units, and it gets minus 10k to the end of the turn. And if a Vanguard was chosen with this effect, this dude gets plus 5k to the end of the turn. So all around solid, especially for the restanding Vanguards. This card is perfect. Gives minus 10k to the end of the turn to that dude. So, a very awesome G-Guard. I couldn't have asked for a better one for the clan. Next, we're going into regular G units. I got Surumaru Kuninaga. This is the hyped grade 3. Act once per turn, a counterblast 1, soul blast 1. Choose a copy of him and turn the face up. I choose a grade 3 and a grade 2 from my drop zone and call it the separate rear guards. And if the number of face-up cards in my G zone is 2 or more, at the end of the turn, I choose one of those called units and they get returned back to my hand. So excellent, especially in the control matchup where they're just retiring my stuff. I can call back units from the graveyard back through, unless you're playing against new Narukami, which says F you to your drop zone. Next, I'm running. I have to run 4 Ichigo Hitofuri Tokus. So this is another way for me to get the name if I'm on Iwatushi Toku. So this guy is pretty cool as a G unit as well. If I have 2 or more units with Toushirou in their card names, this dude gets plus 10k until the end of turn. And if the number of face-up Ichigo Hitofuri's Tokus in my G zone is 2 or more, then this dude gets a crit, which is perfect. So he becomes 36 2 crit. Then and that's a continuous ability. And then on my act, it's counterblast 1 once per turn. I choose a card from my G zone and turn the face up. Choose any number of rear guards with Toushirou in the card name, and they get plus 6k. So now I'm buffing up my team. So as you know, the Toushirous are my grade 1 and grade 0, so they're all getting 6k. And that's on top of the other power builds that they're getting. So a really solid stride unit, especially if I'm not on himself. It's just all on solid. I'm running 2 Nihongaos. He's pretty cool. Generation Break 2, counterblast 1, flip him face up if I do. When he attacks, until the end of the battle, this unit gets plus 3k for each one of my rear guards that stand, and my opponent can't call sentinels. There's a combo with that card. When I do another deck profile on another build, I'm going to show you the card that locks out your opponent, because who doesn't love locking out your opponent, really, out of guarding? I do. I like locking out my opponent out of guarding. Alright, next one. I'm running 1 Mikazuki Munichika Toku. It's too strong. And the original GR 2. This one retires, gains crit and power. This one restands my field, and he himself gets a crit. Done. So guys, that is my build. It is more more stride centric than rearguard, to be honest. But there is a sort of a balance between the two. I know that just sounds weird, but most of my damage is going to be coming from my stride units, which is I guess how the game is. It's not really rearguard centric. But again, I did say that this build was a bit on the weaker side. So I guess we'll have to wait for the next set in order to see if they can increase the power of this archetype. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave it in the comment section below. And just stay tuned. Bye!